All right, let's talk about money and getting uncomfortable talking about money. And moreover, what happens if you want to quit? Because to be honest, I've been there many, many times. And as you saw in the thumbnail, I've had, well, being an illustrative representation, but I've had very back and forth bank account situations, what have you, having to deal with money and having wanted to quit, just give up. I tell you, to be perfectly honest with you. So today in this video, we're going to get real. We're going to get uncomfortable. And I'm just going to give you straightforward advice of how I took my financial situation, my financial goals from literally negative hundreds of dollars in my bank account to creating really just years later many different successful revenue streams, and really the mindset of how I did this. How did I actually commit to not giving up? Because there's failures in that story. We're going to talk about failures and what it means in your journey trying to make money. Let's be real here. I want to be real with you, and that's part of what we do here on the team. If this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike, coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My job is to help make you money, flat out. And we're going to give you, again, straightforward advice today. But my specialty, I help you in the gig economy. If you want a side hustle, if you want to do it as side income or full-time income, you can do it, either depending on your marketplace, creating multiple revenue streams, but generally just making money. I want to tell you a little bit about my story here. And then we're going to get into those actual action items. Number one, we're looking at our own situation here. We're trying to make some more money, whatever that means to you. It doesn't have to be six figures, whatever it is, whatever your number is for this year in the next 365 days. Or you can break it down. Hey, I just want to make X amount of dollars the next quarter, the next 3 months, or in the next month, because I got to pay this off. Or, again, we'll just be real here. If you have credit card debt over you, I had credit card debt, thousands and thousands of dollars that I had to confront. And point number one here is we need to take a look at what's not working. Our roadmap to where we would like to be, where if you would just like to get there and you don't actually do anything to get there, then what's going to happen? Nothing. So actual action items that I want you to think about. Check this out. Take a look at what's not working. So let me just ask you, okay? If you're not a part of the team here, I invite you to subscribe. Again, my job is to help you make money. We look at what's working. We look at what is working. And I want you to be massively financially successful. I want to make as much money as possible. I always say, I want you to make as much money as possible. Because could you imagine if I just wanted to make as much money as possible, I didn't care about your money, right? I'd make you just straight up a jerk, right? No, my job here, it's a team. I want you to hit your goals. Again, whatever that is. So number one, are you currently making the kind of money that you want to make? And this seems like ground level because it really is. Why? Because honestly, this is where I found myself, let's say 5 or so years ago, when I was starting my journey. What is it? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So this could be your first step. Let me know in the comments or the live chat. Is today going to be your step one of years down the road, months down the road, whatever it is? That, man, this was my wake-up call. This was my day one here. And folks, I'm not making this up. I've done this. Again, I know what it's like to go to the gas station and literally only be able to afford $5 in the gas tank. I was there. So are you currently trying to make the money? Are you currently making the money you want to make? Okay, number two, how many revenue streams do you have? I'm a massive believer in you must not rely on a single revenue stream. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. That's what I had done for years since I got into the workforce. So my story begins here in Pittsburgh, in a small town, 30 minutes outside of the city, working for Walmart. My first job was in the back, unloading those goods off the 18-wheeler, working when was it? 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. shift. That was my first gig. Okay. And I am literally, and this is what you're doing, you're trading your time for your money. So if I asked you what's more valuable, your time or your money? Well, money's pretty important to me, man. I need money. I can't do anything without money. But the reason that we're thinking about that is because we don't really care. I just want the money, man. Yeah, time's great and all. I'm busy. You have a lot of things going on here, but if push comes to shove, it's money. Well, we kind of need to reframe that and think about time as being your most important thing, not necessarily money. Because if I'm working that 9 to 5, like I was doing at Walmart, I moved around that entire store working summers, college. I was a stalker. I was a cashier, which was admittedly the most enjoyable job, but doesn't matter. It didn't matter what I was doing in that store. I was trading my time for my money. So my goal for you this year, I've been saying this for years, you have to build multiple revenue streams. Ideally, a semi-passive stream like affiliate income. We talk about that. Look up affiliate income on this channel of how to do or how to get started, etc. And again, that third point here, are all or most of your revenue streams active, aka do they require you to be present? You can only be one place, man. I mean, you can only be doing one thing, really. So if all your streams are active, I mean, there's only one way for me to actively make money. I don't have any semi-passive streams coming in. So do you not know where to start? And are new opportunities not performing? Okay, so now we're going to get into actual action items here. Okay, I'm taking a look inward. I'm looking at my money. I'm not making as much money as I want. Yeah, man, most of my streams are active streams. I don't know where to start. How do I take that first step of a journey of 1,000 miles? Here's how we're going to do it in order to start. So deciding on your roadmap. This is what I did. I told you 5 years ago or so. Here's the thing. Let me just be real with you, because again, I want this training to really be straightforward advice. That this journey does not have to take 5 years, whatever it is. Following best practices like this, you can massively accelerate your trajectory of the money that you want to make, whatever it may be. So deciding on your roadmap, here's what we're going to do. Number one, you have to research. You got to commit, and you got to go all in. Now, listen, let's be absolutely real here. And hey, I see you in the video today, folks. And I know burnout is real. Ellen comments, I mean, we have to manage everything that we got going on here. I see you in the training today. Definitely drop a like if you're getting value in this video today. Because here's the thing, folks, is this channel, again, it's helping you make money. Usually we talk about the gig economy, but if you never step back from that hustle to get your mind right, to get focused, or maybe you're just getting overwhelmed with everything going on in your life, maybe family stuff, work stuff, whatever, and you're trying to start these new things here. You're trying to actually decide and map out your roadmap for your financial goals here. You can get off that track, and that's where hopefully I can help you out here. Is yeah, we can talk about hustling, we can talk about making money and a whole lot of different revenue streams, because that's what you need to do. But getting off track, imagine that you're running with the group, like, let's go guys, I'm motivated, I'm feeling it, and then you like kind of get distracted, and I'm a little tired, I'm just going to drop back, and then you're dropping back from the group, and you just kind of give up, like, oh, they're so far away anyway, they're not even going to notice. So if you don't stay on top of your game and check in with us here in the team, then again, subscribe or join whatever motivational or support group that there is. If you don't have a support group, I mean, you're going in alone. And that is extremely difficult. So what revenue streams will you build out when you do this research? Again, I mentioned active and semi-passive. Look at the affiliate income, folks. I'm a massive believer in affiliate income. We're going to be talking about that more here in the channel, of how to start on platforms like Amazon Associates. Sales. Can you pick up a part-time sales job or something that you can maybe even do on the web, virtually, what have you? We've talked about contract work. Are you a creator? Do you create music? Can you get royalties? Royalties are a fantastic semi-passive revenue stream. Licensing. If someone uses your work, graphic designer, again, audio engineer, whatever it is. Can you put that out there and get royalties or licensing fees on that? We did a video on the best semi-passive revenue stream ideas. Check that out. So how much revenue should this venture produce? Okay, here's what I'm talking about. I want to make $100,000 in a year. And to be candid with you, 100,000 has always been my goal. And funny enough, my parents will tell you from my teenage years, 100,000 was always it was like this magical number, right? I saw it on TV show. I could make 100,000 a year. That's the number. That's the number, man. And James, one of our VIPs, I appreciate you being here, James. Excellent topic. I'm glad you're getting value today. So if your goal is whatever it is, 60, 50, whatever it is, if I'm trying new revenue streams, how much revenue is that venture actually going to produce? Because if I'm driving in the gig economy, again, that's what I help you with in parts. Well, I can only make maximum of, let's say, $35 an hour if I'm killing it, if my marketplace is really good. Okay, well, that's going to generate X amount of dollars. If I drive X amount of hours, I'm still going to be like $3K short of my monthly goal. What else can I do that's going to generate $3K a month? Ideally, semi-passive, because I'm already doing active streams when I'm driving. What help will you need? Folks, I mean, the journey on your own is obviously much more difficult than if you have mentors, support groups. And this can even be resources like this channel to say, I mean, how do I do this? Like right now, I'm helping you get in the right mindset and honestly, hopefully kicking you out of average. Because again, if I'm just going to be real here, we're just going to be completely real. Most people are average or settling for average. Now, if that's their happiness, if that's their, zone of content, there's nothing wrong with that. But for you, if you're obviously you're here because you're not content with money, then I need to kick you out of that. And we're going to talk about the haters and the doubters here in a little bit. But mentors, again, support groups, resources like this that help you do things better, faster, so you can get there faster. So mapping out your action items for where you want to be, you got to also be realistic, but welcome getting uncomfortable. If you have time restrictions, lifestyle restrictions, again, the family, you got things going on. I'm not talking about going all in. If you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, entrepreneur, he says, you got to put your head down in your 20s, man. You don't even look up in your 20s. And, whatever age, right? But he always cites, you got to put your head down. I didn't even look up in my 20s, man. I didn't go out. I didn't party. I didn't hang out with friends. I said no. And I mean, there's some merit to that. How gung-ho do you want to be? How all in, because that's what we talked about at the beginning here, do you want to be? I see some value in that. And yeah, you gotta put your head down and again, commit and go all in. But for yourself, for your own journey, you can be realistic. There's nothing wrong with that. Get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. I just heard this on a recent podcast. Ed Milet, again, there's a resource, folks. I was listening to the Ed Milet podcast, a great self-development entrepreneurial podcast. Dropping Bombs, Bradley, another same thing, entrepreneur, self-development. And on Ed's podcast I was listening to yesterday, the guests said, I mean, you got to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable. And that's so true. And, Tony Robbins says, people will do more to avoid pain than they will to seek pleasure. But you got to get uncomfortable. I mean, even going live for you right now, there's always a tinge of getting uncomfortable. Oh, I'm going to go live. What if I mess up? What if I, completely mess up my words? Even I've been doing this for how many years and I still get uncomfortable. So that's okay. You got to get uncomfortable. Our next point here, big moves during sacrifice season. You got to make big moves during sacrifice season. Here's what I mean by that. Whenever you start, you got to be ready to see zero momentum when you first start. Nothing. You got to be okay with that. I kind of relate that to the analogy of like the locomotive, the train, right? It's sitting there. It's a massive machine. It's going to take a lot of energy for that thing to move. And that thing knows, that train knows, hey, man, I'm not going to see any momentum when I first start, right? And that's okay. You got the shuttles, right? You got this SpaceX launch, man. It's going to take so much effort and energy just to get started, just to see some kind of momentum. This is going to be your sacrifice season. You got to be ready and expect to see zero momentum when you're first starting because it's new. You're a novice. You don't have the expert skills. You're trying to learn. You're trying to manage this new thing in your life with everything else that you have going on. But success leaves clues. Learn from others. Like I just told you. Consume those resources. And number 2, actively commit to growing your skills daily. Think about any great performer in sports, in entrepreneurship. The greatest performers, do you think they kind of better their skills like every month, like here and there? Like LeBron's going out, he's shooting, like he's like, yeah, it's Thursday. I'm not really doing anything right now. I'm gonna shoot some baskets, right? Do you think he's going out there, just here and there, just kind of like shoots for a couple hours? No, right? He's committing to being the best daily. And honestly, if you want to be the best, you should try to actively commit to growing your skills daily. Now, lastly, you got to sacrifice somewhere on the journey. You have to. This is called sacrifice season. I cited the Gary Vee example of, hey, I kept my head down in my 20s and I just worked and worked. Now, I think there is a balance, of course. There's a life balance, a lifestyle balance, but you got to, and here's why sacrifice is so important. It sounds simple. Yeah, I'll sacrifice something. You'll be surprised the amount of times that I hear, I want to start this. I want to start this thing, a business, a YouTube channel. And you'll be surprised how many times I see that individual still watching hours and hours of TV, still going out, still going, partying every weekend. I'm like, dude, you may get there, but you're going to get there. It's going to take you a lot longer than me because your sacrifice season, it looks almost non-existent, man. You gotta have a sacrifice season. Again, think about the greats. Do you think they sacrificed? Or do you think they, again, went out and partied all weekend? All right. So you're trying this new thing, but here they come. Here they come, folks. Here come the haters. Let's talk about naysayers, haters, doubters. It's got a sting. You're trying something new. It could be, your friends, your family, coworkers, a partner. It could be yourself. So think about the self-doubt. And let me know. Let me know in the live chat in the comment section. Are you trying something new? And I bet, let me know the story. Tell your story right now. Tell your story when you try something new, your stretch goal, and you got the pushback. There's 2 things here I want to talk about. Doubt from others and then doubt from yourself. Firstly, let's talk about those haters, the doubt from others. I'm sure you're going to hear everything under this. Like, dude, like, why you've never done that before. You've worked in, you're tech support, man. What are you doing? You're trying to start this, whatever it is, company. Like, you have no experience in that. Or like, dude, you're like 41, man. Like, really? You want to start this? You want to make a massive pivot now? And you don't think it's kind of odd? You have people that have been doing this for years, and they've been doing it for like 15 years already. Or, don't you think you're kind of past the prime for that, man? It's kind of a young person game, all right? Or what about this one? Like, how you gonna make money with that, right? How you gonna make money with that, man? Really? I mean, you're gonna start this. How do you make money with that? And then yourself. Well, maybe I can make money with that. Maybe I am too old. Maybe I don't have the years of experience. They're right. Well, I that probably means I shouldn't start until I'm like 35. I shouldn't start until I have 5 years under my belt in that new industry. I shouldn't start that business until I'm liquid for 100K. I shouldn't start small. I'm not an expert until. That's the self doubt. So combined, that can really bring you down. So, what's the best way to show the haters wrong? Yeah, I mean, it's success, right? But you're not going to have that massive success until you have some small wins, till you make your first sale, until you start getting a promotion, whatever it is. Until, let's say, here on YouTube, you get your first 100 subscribers, you get 1,000 views, you start to see some momentum. Remember that train analogy, or that shuttle analogy, is going to, again, take momentum, energy to start a lot of it. And since there is a lot of momentum to start that locomotive, if you don't have enough, if you don't have enough focus and energy, you're probably going to quit, hang back from the pack, and then just give up because no one's noticing. So, how do I deflect or ignore the haters or the trolls? You got to have a stronger mindset. Again, what we talked about initially: focus, drive, commitment, try to improve daily. Because think about this, folks. If you're trying to build a business, make money, you have to remember, build out multiple revenue streams. You have to map out your roadmap of how am I going to get there? Do the numbers, right? Every business should have a business. But okay, I can make this amount of money doing this. I can make this amount of money doing that. Calculate for some leeway. And then based on this, I should hit this amount per month, per year. And then look at the trend analysis of your actual numbers. But when you have the haters, the doubters, the naysayers, especially if they're close to you, I get it. Especially if you're close, if they're close to you. Remember the small wins. Say, listen, I have the mentors. I'm following the best resources to learn, to better, to massively accelerate the success. Then you start getting the small wins that turn into bigger wins. You're being more aggressive. You're taking action. And then hopefully, again, you're getting those bigger wins, AKA dollars, because that is our actual goal here for your business. But all right, what if it's just not working? Because I like to give you both sides of the coin here. So I'm trying this new thing, but it's just not working. So how long should I try this new thing until what? Until I give up, or how long should I try it until I deem that it's not working for me? This is a tricky one. Here's what I've learned from my experience. Remember, getting comfortable with getting uncomfortable. It kind of goes the same with failing. Now we got to be careful with that, because obviously, if I'm starting a business, if I'm putting a lot of capital into it, etc., and if that fails, is a lot different than, hey, I'm going to use my phone. I'm not going to buy any new equipment. I'm going to start a YouTube channel, or I'm going to sign up for an affiliate program. My conversion rate isn't that great. It's free to sign up. I failed at that. Failure is okay. Actually, in both scenarios, I would say. Now, for me, I'm a lower medium risk as far as when it comes to capital. And this is certainly not business structure or official, legal financial advice, but failing is okay. That's why I want you to follow the best practices, the mentors, to do things right from the start. But if it's just not working and you've been doing this for 6 months, a year, and you're following the best practices. Because I'm going to be honest here. Again, success leaves clues. If you're doing almost the same thing as another successful person, why is it not working? Something's not working there, man. If I'm trying to be in sales, here's a great analogy. Working in customer service for years, going into sales, excuse me, going into sales and massively basically bombing in sales. But I followed the best practices. I was learning from the best sales trainers. This is a perfect analogy, folks. There had to be a point where I looked inward to say, okay, what if it's just not working? I'm shadowing with people, with the best performers. I'm learning again from books and books of the best sales trainers. And there had to be a point where I was said, you know what, it's just not for me. And that's okay. I didn't get down, saying, yeah, I suck at this. It just wasn't the right setting for me because I still sell things, right? Go to yourdrivermike.com. There's courses and walkthroughs there that you can purchase. There you go, right? I'm fine with selling things, but that specific channel wasn't for me. I pivot. I go all in on something else that I'm passionate about, that I am following the best practices and trainers, AKA starting a business via YouTube, and see success from that. Because I'm fine getting uncomfortable. I'm fine jumping in the pool again. I didn't mope, and get into that self-doubt that we talked about. So remember that. There is a fine line of when should I quit? And that's okay. And of course, we see here an image. So, okay. I'm seeing some success. Now what? Let's talk about the other end of the spectrum here. So I'm starting affiliate income, or I'm starting, maybe you're just getting into the gig economy, these side hustle apps. My marketplace is good. I'm making, $25, $30, $35 an hour on that. I'm starting a clothing line. I'm contracting out work. I am publishing my work for royalties, licensing. I'm doing print on demand. I'm doing t-shirts. I'm doing Amazon FBA, fulfilled by folks. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of hustles out there to make money. Okay. So I'm seeing some success. Now what? Number one, what I would do is always look for scalability. Once we get to the point of I'm making enough money to at least make as much money as I was making in a full-time job, let's say, I'm starting to make enough money where I can pay the rent, pay the bills, and I have some money left over. More so, again, than maybe I'm used to. I'm starting to pick up clients. I got like 5 clients now, I'm picking up clients, man. This is great. 10 clients. I'm starting to get too busy, which is a good problem to have, right? So now that I'm seeing some success, scale, blow it up. I would look at, again, more mentors. I would look at hiring. That's something that we're doing here on the channel. Bringing someone on to allocate that work. So you can, what's the phrase, right? I can work on the business and not in the business. There's some nuance to that. What does that mean? But you're still working in the business, but I hope you get what I mean there. You're getting help to allocate that work. Another example, hiring, I basically hired my brother, Matt, to produce some content here, help with things on the channel. He has great content over on his channel as well, Your Driver Team Matt. Brought him on as basically an employee. So I want you to start seeing some success here. So here's your next roadmaps. Number one, again, I would look at what's not working. I would set my number. And this is what I did, folks. I remember working at Walmart, however old I was, right? In between semesters at college. And I'll just kind of tell you this real quick. I remember working Back room, at Walmart, you have the steel racks, you have boxes everywhere, the electronics cage, you have the kind of coworker desk there with the scheduling computers and all this, equipment everywhere. And it was basically my performance review, which was good. I was working hard, and I went out to one of I guess my supervisor that was conducting the review, and he said, congrats, you get a 20 cent per hour raise. And I looked at him, I said, I mean, I'm doing this extra stuff. I'm doing this. I'm hustling, whatever it is. I'm doing that. It's like 20 cents, whatever it was, 20, 40 cents. And he looked at me, he said, I'm sorry. And he kind of said it in like a little kind of a cartoony voice. He was a super nice guy. He wasn't saying it, maliciously. He was just like, sorry. And I remember that was one of the most memorable points that I thought to myself, dude, I'm not relying on one revenue stream. All that hustle that literally doesn't really matter because you're fitting in a corporate structure of this is only how much you're going to, you can hustle as much as you want. You're only going to earn an extra 10 to 40 cents an hour, whatever it is, right? And that was unacceptable for me. So my goal for you, again, going back to this, is building out the roadmap, following leaders' best practices to accelerate faster so it doesn't take you 10 years like those stubborn people that say, like, I don't need your help. I don't need a mentor's help. I'm not paying for training or whatever it is. You're going to speed by them faster. As you start seeing the success, anticipate getting uncomfortable. Know that that's okay. Know that you're following best practices so you can feel good in what you're doing, not like you're just winging it, right? Anticipate the haters and the trolls. So as you start hearing that, you're cool, man. It's fine. Don't engage. Don't fan the flames because honestly, what do we all think of haters? Are they confident, happy people? Are they happy with their lot in life? They have nothing but positive energy. No. Haters, trolls, there's something going on. We don't know their scenario, right? We don't know their situation. We're not trying to pry, but understand that it's obviously coming from a place of negativity, toxic mindset. Maybe not a good past, but still, I don't know your scenario, but still, think about all the successful people. Have they all had a cushy upbringing? Absolutely not. It's kind of that American dream, right? You can start from nothing and make it. Folks, I was making whatever it was at Walmart. I worked at customer service after that. I was making okay money. I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, except I wanted to be in charge of my income. So I got into sales, bombed at sales, right? But still, I knew I wanted to make my own income, man. I'm not trying to go back to that. And again, you can still be wealthy working a 9 to 5. Absolutely. If you want to go up that ladder, it's the same kind of thing. It's the same thing. Follow best practices, leaders, improve the skills. It's the same thing. Improve the skills daily to accelerate faster. Same thing, folks. So I hope you got value in this training today. We have active strategies every single week here on the channel. But remember, you got to step back every now and then to hopefully have this mindset, this drive here to reframe, especially if you're getting, the haters or the self-doubt. Remember that. So I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being a part of the team here. If you haven't done so already, definitely consider joining the team here, hitting the subscribe button. Folks, let's get it. Let's make it a good year, a good rest of the year here. There we go. Stay focused, stay driven. If you want to join a team that is supportive, that are hustlers, that are trying to make some money this year on many different ways, consider, again, joining the team here. I appreciate having you here. There we go, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, if you did get value in this video, you can click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.